Yeah, negative emotions was the fifth one. And so let's go back, a little mini introduction to everyone else. We're talking about the five Gurdjieffian sins, the unforgivable sins of Gurdjieff, which are, again, now that I know all five, gosh, starting at the top, which I think is the most important one because it really feeds on all the rest, identification. And number two, lying, which I would define, and I do define, as anytime you speak about something you do not know, as if you knew it, you lie, that's lying. Not the purposeful deception kind of thing that people usually associate with lying, but anytime you speak about something you do not know, as if you knew it, you lie. So we've got identification, we've got lying. Those are the two most prevalent things. And then the third most prevalent is the one I forgot, negative emotions.
If it was time, can I hear it? See some ones. Can you hear me? All right, good. These five sins, I believe, are, yes, they're separate. We can see them in our dimension as separate manifestations, but they are all symptoms of one thing, and that is our sleep. What that means is that if we wake up, all five of those things will go away. We don't have to attack them separately. Let me give you an amusing story of identification. I went to a movie once with a friend. He invited me. He wanted to see a horror movie called The Ring. Now, the premise of this Ring movie is five teenagers encounter a tape of another movie. They watch it, and 7 days later, they all die. So there's something about an infected movie that's causing death. When that plot is evident about 15 minutes into the movie, my friend nudges me and he says, I gotta go, Jim, I'm uncomfortable. I said, Scott, what's wrong? He said, I'm afraid of this movie, I gotta get out of here. So I said, Scott, we're adults, we're each over 50 years old. You know, what's the problem? We're in a movie theater. We're not in the movie. Well, he thought he was in the movie. Later in the car, I asked him, what the hell happened? Why couldn't you differentiate you here in LaGrange, you know, in the Chicago area, watching a movie from being sucked into the screen and thinking you were one of those teenagers about to die? And he said this is great. I was okay as long as I had candy in my mouth. But as soon as the candy melted, I got absorbed into the movie. That's it. He was self-aware only as long as he had candy in his mouth. And I'll give up the mic.
That's one good story to example the thing, Jim. Thanks for that. I was going to say there's the notion here to be calling. I don't know. Is it in the literature they get called five deadly sins? I've not come across that before. I know we're sort of joking about it, but I suppose it is true in the sense that I think etymologically the actual roots of the word sin are about missing the mark. It's like in the sense of firing narrow and not hitting the bullseye. That would be sinful. So in other words, it's a condition. It reinforces the idea that you suggested, Jim, that necessarily if we're not awake, we are identified with something, and that's the main thing. And then the other four are ways of being identified and modalities of being identified. And I'm in danger of talking too much now, so I'll let go of the mic.
Yeah, no, the five deadly sins thing is my own terminology that I borrowed, of course, from Christianity with the seven deadly sins. But whenever I think about, and of course, the other thing that I mailed to Steve in Boise when we were talking about putting together this topic was you could add two more. The sixth deadly sin would be failure to join a legacy group.